Good evening, baseball fans. We are live at the Corn Crib. Some Thursday night action, KCL baseball in full swing here in the second half of its summer season, as the Bobcats are set to do battle with the Merchants. I'm Evan Schmeiser, ladies and gentlemen. It is a privilege, as always, to be bringing you the action. Bobcats will be hitting first tonight. They're in the third base dugout wearing the green tops with the orange lettering along with the white bottoms. Merchants, the baby blue tops in the field on the first base dugout, and the white bottoms as well. Zach Diver draws the start, his third start of the summer out of Sauk Valley Community College. 1-0 over 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. You gotta love that number. And we'll take a look at the Bobcats order that's set to face him. Jackson Smith, who's making his debut tonight, leads off. Mitch Murphy's the second man, followed by Colin Carr. Hayden Stork will do the catching. Bennett Summers is in the fifth spot. Nick Mardis will bat 6. Caleb Hackman in the 7th hole. Ryan Field, the designated hitter, will hit 8th. And Trey Thompson will round out the order for the Bobcats, batting 9th. And Diver also coming off of a very strong spring during the regular season. 4-3, 55 and 2/3 innings out of Sauk Valley Community College, 2.91 ERA. He did allow 1.51 walks and hits per innings pitched. So see how he manages the base runners with this Bobcats lineup to go with 55 strikeouts. So Diver's set to go, working out of the stretch exclusively on the far first base side of the rubber. Smith, the left-hander, waves the bat through the box, and everybody's set to go. The first pitch of the night is up high, off the glove of the catcher Foster to the backstop. 5:02 Central Standard Time, 88 degrees. And it is a muggy 88 degrees, ladies and gentlemen. The heat index reading at 94. Overcast skies after seeing a lot of sunshine throughout the day. As Diver set with the next pitch, he goes home, and the next one is fouled out of the plate to the left as the count moves to 1-1. Thunderstorms, hard thunderstorms impending later tonight, likely to see some hail. And this will be the only game tonight. Our originally scheduled 7 o'clock game is going to be canceled. And the 1-1 pitch from Diver looks like a changeup, and it's a little high as the count moves to 2-1. As usual, pretty strong winds blowing out, this time to left center. Getting gusts as high as 21 miles an hour. Hearing some birds chirping on this cloudy, humid early evening. And a 2-1 pitch. That's a good breaking ball on the inside corner. 2-2 the count to Smith. Bobcats coming in 1-6. They rank last in the league in runs scored, runs allowed. Also, defensive numbers are at the very bottom of the 4-team league as well. Guys are out here getting work early. As the changeup misses outside, it'll load the count to open up the game to Smith. Everybody's optimistic that we'll be able to get this first game in. But no doubleheader tonight. This will be the only show in town here in central Illinois. As Diver shakes off one pitch, he shakes off another one from his catcher Foster. A long hold, no pitch clock out here. And the 3-2 pitch is in the dirt. Looked like he tried a changeup. Leadoff walk surrendered to Smith. As Mitch Murphy will settle his way into the right-handed batter's box, we'll take a look at the Merchants defensively. Mason Walker, Ashton Horcham, Chris Casey left to right. Brooks Newhoff, Cody Morton, Clay Kahn, Grant Hackney going third to first. A check on Smith at first. He dives back safely. Dawson Foster behind the plate, and of course, Zach Diver on the mound, working to his second hitter of the night. Back-to-back throwovers. Of course, no limits on disengagements for a pitcher, the same way we're seeing in professional baseball. The third baseman, Newhoff, even with the bag and pretty far off of it, despite the right-hander at the plate. And Diver goes home. First pitch curveball is in for a called strike. According to the home flyer, Justin Bowling. Aldell Cummings making the call in the field tonight. And another throw over. Hackney doesn't bother to apply the tag this time. So 0-1 the count, no score. Jackson Smith at first, thanks to a walk to lead off the game. Diver set to go. Slide step. Smith takes off, and the catcher Foster can't get it out of his glove. He throws a one-hopper to second anyway, nowhere near in time. So Smith steals a base, and the pitch was called a ball, so 1-1 the count now. The Bobcats chance to manufacture a run and strike first. There's a car horn coming from the sound booth. Troy McLeese draws the start for the Bobcats as they try to give him an early advantage. With nobody out in the top of the first, Smith at second. Diver taking a long time between pitches. Now he goes home. The 1-1 misses high. Some noticeable frustration from Diver as he receives the ball back. Command in any rank of baseball, always imperative, especially in a developmental league like this where the hitting far outweighs the pitching. So he checks the runner at second once, now goes home. That's a good curveball in for a called strike. 2-2 the count now to Murphy. Mitch Murphy with the only home run of the summer so far for the Bobcats. 5 total coming into tonight across the 4-team league. As Diver set, checks Smith twice, and now he deals. That fastball's high. It's off the glove of Foster, and it goes to the backstop. Smith up to third on what should be a passed ball. 3-2 the count. Still no score. We'll see how the Merchants play this. They'll play the middle infielders back. The first baseman, Hackney, is playing all the way back. And Newhoff at third is, well, he's playing a couple steps. Well, he keeps backing up now. He's a good 3-4 steps now beyond the third base bag. So a ground ball should score Smith. 3-2. Diver set out of the stretch. And he goes home. That one's fouled straight back and right over my head towards the concourse. Fastball that time from Diver. Murphy out of Black Hawk Community College. Comes into tonight 3 for 9 with that home run, 4 RBIs. Diver set again. And he deals. Tries a curveball, and that one's upstairs. And what happened here? Looks like the home plate umpire said it got a piece of Murphy, because it kicked off the glove of Foster to the backstop, but there was no movement from Smith at third. Either way, a walk and a hit batter apparently to start the game. That'll now bring up Colin Carr. Carr, the 6'1" right-hander, also out of Black Hawk Community College. He hit .361 this past spring in 20 games, a home run, 8 RBIs. So he waves the bat above his head, wearing the batting gloves. Shortly to first from Murphy, who's stolen 1 bag this summer. Infield looking to turn 2 for the Merchants. Diver set, and this first pitch to Carr is a little outside. Good 4-seamer. Trying to find his command, and Foster behind the plate trying to settle in as well. Check on Murphy, and the throw pulled Hackney off the bag. 1-0 the count to Carr. No score. Smith at third, Murphy at first. And nobody out in the away first. The 1-0 pitch, check swing, and no swing called high. Yeah, Diver trying to find it now. Quite a few pitches missing up to these right-handers. And he slows down the pace as he looks for some signs. And another throw over the first. Murphy dives back safely. And we'll see if Murphy takes off and what the Merchants do with a first and third situation. Outfielders are playing fairly deep. Casey and Wright's the deepest. And the 2-0 pitch, that's a good curveball at the knees for a strike. Now 2-1 to Carr. Another throw over the first. This time, Murphy goes back in standing up. Diver had a pretty good pace working to Jackson Smith to lead off the game, and everything has really slowed down on a night where impending weather is looming. The 2-1 pitch off the hands, ground ball out to short, Morton up with it. He goes to second, and the throw's wide, and it goes down the right field line, giving chase to his Hackney. 1 run scores. Murphy is going to be held at third. But Carr, we have 2 runners at third. Carr didn't see the stop sign. The pitcher Diver has it, and they have Carr in a rundown. He looks the runner back to third, throws to second, and out is the call at second base to get Colin Carr. That was a bizarre play. My gosh. So Jackson Smith scored on the ground ball, so given RBI to Colin Carr on a fielder's choice. Murphy is over at third. Carr just assumed that Murphy was going to get the wave around, and then you had 2 men on third, and then nothing for Carr to do other than go back to second where he was eventually tagged out. So Hayden Stork will be the hitter. Now 1 away in the top of the first and 1-0 Bobcats. Got to make sure I have all my stuff scored properly. Swung on and missed by the catcher Stork, 0-1. So let's see. The error goes against Cody Morton. So we have that one figured out. The 0-1 delivery. That's a high bounce to the third. Newhoff up with it. He thought about going home to try to get Murphy, but he throws over the first to retire Stork. So 2 outs and the base is clear. Now 2-0 Bobcats. Bennett Summers will be the hitter, as I still try to get my scorebook situated. So the play to retire Carr, that would go 6, 3, 1, 4. All right, so we have that one nailed away. Right on right the matchup. Summers going without batting gloves. He swings at the first pitch and pops it up. Right side of the infield, the second baseman Clay Kahn, a couple steps into the outfield cutout. He puts it away, and that retires the side. Thanks to a walk, a hit batter, and an error, some walky base running, the Bobcats able to take a 2-0 lead without any hits. We'll head to the home first. Merchants will take their first swings when we return. Welcome back, everyone, as we get set for the bottom of the first on this cloudy, muggy night. 2-0 Bobcats, and just to get the last bit of everything squared away, that was the third error of the summer by the shortstop Morton just a moment ago that led to a run scoring and eventually an out in the rundowns. Now 24 errors on the young season for this Bobcats team, this now being their 8th game. Troy McLeese, the left-hander on the mound for the Bobcats, the 6'1", 165-pound left-hander, rising sophomore out of Bloomington, Illinois, and Rock Valley College. Fastball likely to sit in the mid-80s to go with a changeup and a slider. 43 innings this past spring, a 3.56 ERA. Keep an eye on the 287 batting average against him, though. We'll take a look at the Merchants lineup. The speedy Ashton Horcham and Clay Kahn will be the 1-2 hitters. Cody Morton at third. Luca Morelli, the DH, will be the cleanup man. Chris Casey bats 5th. Grant Hackney's in the 6th hole. Brooks Newhoff will bat 7th. Dawson Foster, the catcher, hits 8th. And Mason Walker will be the 9th man, rounding things out. So the left-hander Horcham is ready. Out of the windup goes Troy McLeese, and the first pitch nearly hits Horcham as he spins out of the way of that one. Left on left the matchup, and the 1-0 pitch is on the outside corner. McLeese, a quick worker. One of those guys who gets the ball and goes as he does it again. Curveball misses outside, 2-1 the count. Horcham, a guy you want to keep off the bases. That one's lined sharply on one hop. Mitch Murphy up with it. Soft toss the first to retire Horcham. As Clay Kahn will be the next man, we'll take a look at the Bobcats defensively. Trey Thompson, Caleb Hackman, Nick Mardis left to right. Bennett Summers, Jackson Smith, Mitch Murphy, Colin Carr, third to first around the horn. Hayden Stork is doing the catching. And, of course, Troy McLeese on the mound to get things started for the Bobcats. A 2-0 Bobcats lead. Left on right the matchup, and this time a long hold for McLeese. Now he's set. Drops his delivery down right there, and he misses down and away. Trying a little Nestor Cortez action, I suppose. And the 1-0 pitch. A fastball, that's on the outer half. 1-1 the count to Kahn. Kahn 4 for 21 to start his summer, a couple extra base hits as he takes a breaking ball for a strike. Second on the team in stolen bases with 6. And the leadoff man Horcham, who's just retired, he's the leader with 7. Here's the 1-2 pitch, another drop-down delivery way outside. So McLeese, one of those guys who tries to give the hitters a lot of different angles. Here's 2-2 with 1 out. Curveball just outside. That didn't miss by much. 3-2 the count. We saw a moment ago some deep counts for Diver. That one's a line just foul down the right field line. The field umpire, Aldale Cummings, had to do a little dancing to avoid that one. The count remains full to Kahn. Bobcats leading 2-0. And the 3-2 again. Breaking ball, that one's lined into center. Hackman comes charging in, and he makes the catch on the run, belt high. Oh, that was a nice little running grab right there. 2 up, 2 down in the home first for the Merchants. It brings up Cody Morton, the shortstop. Morton 4 for 14. The rising junior out of Danville Community College. A couple extra base hits, 5 RBIs. And McLeese's first pitch is in for a called strike. A confident-looking heater. The left fielder Thompson is playing very deep and down the line. Next delivery, out in front is Morton on a changeup. Goodness, even with the righty up, Nick Mardis in right, also very deep. Hackman, the only guy playing normal depth. The 0-2 with 2 outs, and that's another drop-down delivery, and it skips in the dirt. So that's 3 times in the bottom of the first that McLeese has tried to go submarine, and each time he's missed down and away. He threw about a 55-footer that time. The 1-2 pitch, another drop down. That one's lined into center. Another chance for Hackman. He's able to make the catch, gliding to his left. 3 up, 3 down. Go the Merchants in the first. We'll head to the top of the second. 2-0 Bobcats. Welcome back to the Colonels Collegiate League YouTube. 2-0 Bobcats as the Merchants will bat in the top of the second. 4, 5, 6, Luca Morelli, Chris Casey, and Grant Hackney will bat. Troy McLeese, or excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, had the wrong side covered. Nick Martis, Caleb Hackman, and Ryan Thiel, the 6, 7, 8 hitters, will get us started with Zach Diver back out for his second inning of work. A walk and a hit batter, both guys coming around to score. Also thanks to a Merchant's error. Diver out of the stretch, and the first pitch curveball is up and in to Martis. And Diver comes in having only walked 16 guys this past spring, so some of these command issues are uncharacteristic. Another long look in. Very deliberate as Diver as he tries to find that release point. Now he's set with the 1-0. That one's hit through the hole on the left side for a base hit. First hit of the night for either side for Martis. And for the second straight inning, Bobcats get their leadoff man aboard. Second hit of the summer for Martis. And it brings up Caleb Hackman. Hackman out of Augustana College, 2 for 8. He's an incoming freshman to Augustana College. Congratulations, of course, to all of our recent graduates. Throw over the first, Martis back on the dive. We saw Diver throw over a ton in the top of the first. It's a short lead for Nick at first, as the right-hander Hackman waits. Now Martis goes home. It skips in the turf to Foster, able to handle it. 1-0 the count to the seventh man. Hackman, 6'1", a lumbering 200 pounds. He's a big guy in the right-handed box. He waves the bat through the zone. As he rests on his shoulders now as Diver comes set. The 1-0 pitch. That one's bounced inside the third base bag for a fair ball. It rolls towards the corner. Martis on his horse. He's in the third. He's going to be waved home. Walker, the left fielder, finally gets to it. There won't be a throw to the plate. An RBI double for Caleb Hackman. His second ribby of the summer, first extra base hit. It's now 3-0 Bobcats. That ball just stayed true as it rolled and skipped along the turf. The third baseman, Newhoff, had no chance. Walker was shaded a little bit towards the alleyway, so it took him a year to dig it out of the corner. Now it's the eighth man, Ryan Thiel. Thiel doing the designated hitting tonight, 1 for 7 with no extra base hits. He swings the first pitch and lofts it foul to the right side as it lands in the Merchants' bullpen. So 0-1 the count to the eighth hitter, 3-0 Bobcats. Well, the Merchants fell behind 5-0 yesterday, and prompted by an ejection by manager Tanner Schreiber, able to come back and secure a victory. The 0-1 pitch. That one's bounced, a high chopper back towards the middle. Kahn is up with it, off bounds throw to first, and he throws it way over the first baseman Hackney, and it goes towards the Merchants' dugout. Around third is Hackman. He looked like he ran through a stop sign, and the throw home is going to be in time to get him. Wow, that's already the second misplay by the Merchants in the field. That one coming by the second baseman, Kahn. It would have been a bang-bang play to get Thiel at first, so give him a hit. He advances to second on the error, and also the second time the Bobcats have made an out on the bases. So Hackman retired on a 4-3-2 putout. The ninth man, Trey Thompson, will hit. Right on left the matchup as Diver checks the runner at second. Another first pitch swing, a high chopper to first. Hackney up with it. He better hustle to first. He tosses to Diver just barely in time to get Thompson, who was hustling up the line. So Thiel up to third on the play, now 2 away in the top of the second. 3-1 on that last putout. And it's the leadoff man, Jackson Smith. A walk, a stolen base, and a run scored in the first. 3-0 Bobcats. And you have Thiel at third, a chance for a fourth. Slide step delivery, and that's a little outside. So despite the command issues from Diver, these Bobcats hitters, very aggressive. And Diver, some more shakeoffs with his catcher, Dawson Foster. Center fielder Ashton Horcham playing shallow. His diver goes home. It's high off the glove of Foster, and coming home is Thiel. Nobody's covering the plate. It's now 4-0 Bobcats. That'll likely go down as a wild pitch, but it's a ball that you want your catcher to come up with. It's been a tough start to the game for Foster. Numerous balls. Now, granted, pitch is way up and out of the zone, but balls clanking off of his glove. That's now the second wild pitch of the night. Our first wild pitch to go with a passed ball. 2-0 the count with the bases clear to Smith. That one's roped into left field. Coming on and having to make a leaping grab is Mason Walker, as he's able to secure the final out of the inning. 2 more runs score for the Bobcats, aided by 3 hits. The big blow coming on the RBI double by Caleb Hackman. We'll take a short break. We'll return for the bottom of the second. Merchants trail 4-0. Heart of the order coming up for the Merchants as they trail 4-0 to the Bobcats in the bottom of the second. Morelli, Casey, and Hackney will bat. McLee's back out to work the second. Morelli, he does a lot of catching, doing the designated hitting tonight. Rising sophomore out of Illinois Wesleyan University. As the right-hander settles in with the high socks going as he takes a strike. The high blue socks, white batting gloves to go along with it. A good matching outfit. McLee's out of the windup, his 0-1, and the breaking ball is outside. Morelli 5 for 13. An extra base hit, 2 RBIs. About a week's worth of games. Swung on and missed at a fastball. Now 1-2 the count. 4 runs on 3 hits and an error for the Bobcats. No runs, no hits. Well, it should be 2 errors for the Merchants, as that pitch is just high. Here's some audible complaints from the Bobcats dugout. Didn't miss by much. Here's the 2-2 to open the home second. And that breaking ball is on the outside corner for a called strike 3. First punch out of the night for McLeese. Morelli, not a fan of it. That'll bring up Chris Casey. Casey out of Blackhawk Community College. 5 for 13, 1 extra base hit, 4 RBIs to start his summer. The clouds have fully set in as a breaking ball from McLeese catches the outer black. The right-hander Casey going with the shin guard on the front leg. McLeese working fast, and the 0-1 is a little outside. Can't blame McLeese and the catcher Stork for going out there. They've gotten a couple calls already. 1-1 pitch, that's a good fastball at the knees. Casey looked a little surprised to see that one. As the outfielders for the Bobcats still play deep. The 1-2 pitch, and that's hit out of play foul to the right as it gets up along the concourse. The breeze has significantly calmed down, still going a bit out to left field. The humidity, very noticeable out here. The 1-2 is swung on and missed. Casey way out in front of a fastball. Second strikeout for McLeese. He's set down back-to-back Merchant hitters on strikes. With 2 outs and the bases clear, it brings up Grant Hackney. Hackney out of Eureka College. 3 for 9, a couple ribbies. No extra base hits for the left-hander. First pitch to the lefty is swung on and missed. Bobcats lead the Merchants 4-0, and Troy McLeese has seemed to have settled in a bit. The 0-1 pitch, way out in front of a breaking ball, and Hackney comes up empty. Boy, it is amazing how deep Mardis in right and Thompson in left are playing. Drop down delivery, and that is spiked in front of the plate. This is the time to try and work on certain new things like that, but McLeese doesn't have the release point when he drops down right now. After a couple shake-offs, he goes home in the 1-2, misses low, and he loses his hat. It's a long head of hair for the pitcher McLeese as he goes to retrieve his cap. This is rare out here. The flag is not moving at all in right center. Breaking ball swung on and missed by Hackney. Troy McLeese has struck out the side in order in the bottom of the second. We're through 2 full of the corn crib. McLeese and the Bobcats lead the Merchants 4-0. Welcome back to the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. 2-3-4 coming up for the Bobcats as they lead 4-0. Mitch Murphy, Colin Carr, and Hayden Stork. Zach Diver will get back to work after allowing 2 runs in each of the first and second innings. As he comes set, he's worked slowly and deliberately all night, and he goes home, and that fastball misses low. It is a stark, apparent difference. The slow pace from Diver on the mound and the rapid-fire pace from Troy McLeese. So a little sunshine now starts to pop back through. And the 1-0 pitch, and that one's hit on the ground foul towards third. 1-1 the count to Murphy, who was hit by a pitch and came around to score 1 of 2 runs in the first. Well, on an evening where we expected and still do expect thunderstorms and hail to come through, surprised to see the sun again. As the breeze picks up, going right to left, as Diver's set to go. Bit of a more different delivery this time as the pitch is fouled to the screen. Diver went out of the stretch exclusively in the first 2 innings. Now all of a sudden, and I'm pretty sure I wasn't seeing this wrong, all of a sudden now he's doing an extra step while turned sideways towards home plate. Perhaps trying to mess with his delivery a bit and find some better command. He's ahead 1-2 as he gets a new baseball now. Outfielders are straight up for the Merchants except for Walker in left. Diver goes home and the breaking ball misses down and away. 2-2 the count to Murphy. Merchants come in leading The KCL at 5-2, Bobcats at the bottom. Granted, it's early, but they sit at 1-6. Yeah, Diver set to go. His 2-2 reaches out and pokes his Murphy over to the third baseman. Newhoff had trouble getting out of his glove, but he has time to throw out Murphy. So with one away, it brings up Colin Carr. Carr reached on a fielder's choice. A fielder's choice and an RBI in the first. Eventually was thrown out at second after getting himself into a rundown. It's always important to pick up your third base coaches. 4-0 Bobcats, 1 out top of the third as Carr waves the bat in front of his head. First pitch by Diver is swung on and hit foul to the screen. Perhaps some advice from Bobcats manager Jake Weggs to be aggressive early. And it's been a good mix of being aggressive in the strike zone, with Divers worked some deep counts. And now he steps off. He wants the catcher Foster to go through the signs again. Well, the flag motionless once more here in Bloomington Normal. A rare sight with thunderstorms looming. The 0-1 is down and away. It's looking like a tale of two different teams at the moment. Bobcats sitting at 3 hits and some loud outs too. Merchants haven't been able to do anything offensively. Just a couple errors for the Merchants on defense. And the 1-1 pitch, Diver slows it down mid-delivery, and he gets the called strike on the low fastball. Good job from Foster bringing it back up. Now 1-2 with 1 away, 4-0 Bobcats. Pretty decent crowd for a Thursday night KCL game. Of course, the Corn Belters in the midst of a week-long road trip. We'll see them back here on Sunday. Trickery in the delivery, and that pitch is grounded back towards the middle. Kahn up with it, tries another off-balance throw. Head first dive by Carr. He's safe at first. We saw a play that looked a lot like that, with the second baseman Kahn backhanding it towards the second base bag and trying a jump throw to first. It was a good throw this past go-round, but too much speed from Carr. Now the 4th hit of the evening for the Bobcats. So reasonable to believe that Kahn has practiced that play despite the poor throw in the second. And granted, this is a developmental league, of course. You do not want to be afraid to try some new things within reason if you're trying to work on some new stuff. Stork the batter, slide step delivery by Diver, and the pitch is taken high. And on the resulting infield single by Carr, Diver sped his delivery up in the middle of that process. As he throws over the first, Carr dives back safely. Carr has a short 2-step lead at first as Diver stares in. Pace has slowed down again, especially trying to hold the runner. Now he's ready. The next pitch is a fastball down and away. Carr has not attempted a stolen base this summer, but he draws another throw regardless as he goes back in safely. This is very surprising to see all the throwovers, especially from Diver, with guys who just aren't really taking big leads. These are not aggressive leads. They are not runnerish looking leads. Now he's ready. Slide step on the 2-0. The pitch is swung on and hit way up in the air to left. Walker lining it up. Now he comes running in. He makes the one-handed catch as Carr retreats back to first. Now 2 away in the third. It brings up Bennett Summers. Summers popped out to second his only time up. There's no action in either bullpen. So it's a good sign to see that as we start to get a little deeper into the summer, the starting pitchers are getting more stretched out. Another throw over by Diver. and Stork or Carr back in safely. The little bit of sunshine we had is starting to retreat again, making way for the clouds. First pitch is way inside, and that gets a piece of Summers. The hit batter will put men on first and second now. Second hit batter to go along with a walk issued by Diver. Now it's Mardis, a chance at an RBI. He singled his only time up in the second and eventually came around to score. Mardis and the Bobcats already lead 4-0. Chance to make things really tough on the first place Merchants. Zach Diver still on the far first base side of the rubber. Hasn't adjusted his positioning despite some command issues. Now he's set at the letters. He goes home. Pitch is lined on one hop. Out to the shortstop Morton. He tosses the short way to second to retire Bennett Summers. So Diver strands 2. No runs coming across for the Bobcats. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Bobcats leading 4-0. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Evan Schmeiser, bottom of the third here at the Corn Crib. The Bobcats leading 4-0. Merchants have not had a fun time facing Troy McLeese to get things started. He set them down in order in each of the first 2 innings. And what's going on here? Oh, I see. The center fielder Hackman and right fielder Mardis were still playing catch as the home plate umpire Justin Bowling signals to them, hey, let's get it going, gentlemen. We do have weather looming. Brooks Newhoff, Dawson Foster, Mason Walker, bottom of the third coming up, and McLeese deals a first pitch strike to the right-hander Newhoff. Brooks out of Lincoln Land Community College, 3 for 14 with a home run and a double. But he's behind 0-2 as he comes up empty right there. Newhoff, the only guy for the Merchants to go deep. Well, he goes down on 3 pitches right there. 4 straight strikeouts, 4 overall for McLeese. He is absolutely dealing right now in the middle stages of this one. It'll bring up the 8th man, Dawson Foster. Foster, the catcher, 2 for 7 in his limited opportunities, no extra base hits, out of Sauk Valley Community College. McLeese deals down and away. The Bobcats players and coaches all either sitting in chairs right in front of their dugout railing or they're right behind the railing. Merchants, the guys are a little more scattered. The 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed. Foster late at the fastball, 1-1. Bobcats leading 4-0. Merchants looking for their first base runner. McLeese is set, swung on, off the end of the bat, a pop-up to short right. Mardis comes sprinting in, the second baseman Murphy goes out, he slides, and did he hang on? Yes, he did, according to the field umpire, Audell Cummings. That was a long run. Mardis was playing so deep, he had no chance to get it, so it was left to Murphy. So he makes the play. And now McLeese has set down each of the first 8 hitters for this Merchants lineup. First pitch to the 9th man, Walker, is swung on and missed. A good changeup, tailing down and away to the right-hander. Merchants loaded most of this lineup with righties. That's not been effective. That's a fastball on the inside corner for a called strike 2. McLeese trying to pick up his 5th punch out. The 0-2 pitch is foul tipped at the plate off of the catcher Stork. Yeah, this is just odd to see. Mardis is still really deep in right, even with all these right-handers. And it's not exactly Prospect League power hitters either. The 0-2 pitch dropping down is McLeese. That one is looped into right, and Mardis is going to play it on one hop. So playing deep right there ended up costing him. First hit, first base runner of the night for the Merchants comes with 2 outs in the 3rd. And it brings up the leadoff man, Horcham. Ashton out of Illinois Central Community College, 6 for 21 with an extra base hit, 1 RBI to his credit. Left on left the matchup. Ashton with the open stance. McLeese deals a breaking ball in for strike 1. And Thompson in left. Even to the opposite field, playing very deep. The 0-1 by McLeese, way outside. Tried another breaking pitch. Let's see how we're looking on weather right now. The 1-1, and the runner takes off, and McLeese made a mistake out there. He opted to go out of the windup, so Walker steals second. Yeah, fell asleep a little that time. So now 1-1, 4-0 Bobcats. That pitch is lined into center field. Hackman has to play in on one hop. Walker is going to be held at third as the throw comes way up the line in from Hackman. It's handled by Stork, but up to second goes Horcham on the throw. So that puts men on second and third with 2 outs. That was also the first stolen base of the summer for Mason Walker. And now it's Kahn. So despite falling behind 4-0, a chance for the Merchants to cut this in half. A base hit should score 2 because Horcham can fly at second. McLeese opts to go out of the stretch, and the first pitch curveball misses outside. 2 outs, second and third for the Merchants, bottom of the 3rd. 1-0 pitch, and another curveball misses away. Now 2-0 the count. McLeese has not issued a free pass yet tonight, so you wonder how confident he is if he were to put Kahn on. The 2-0 delivery, that's fouled straight back into the screen. A good rip at it from Kahn. Clay does come in with 4 RBIs. This being the 8th game. Especially with how deep the outfielders still are. A hit will easily score 2. The 2-1 pitch is just outside. Stork tried to bring it back. The scoreboard reads 2-2. Yeah, the home plate umpire just signaled 3-1. That's what I thought too. McLeese is set again. A deep breath. His 3-1 pitch. A curveball in for a called strike 2. The shortstop Jackson Smith forgot the count. He started running off. He's going, wait, but the scoreboard had 2 strikes a second ago. I don't blame you, young man. 3-2 the count. McLeese trying to work out of a jam. And the pitch is swung on and fouled weakly up the third base line. Back-to-back 2-out singles for the Merchants have given them this scoring opportunity. After McLeese retired the first 8 hitters to start his night, he set the 3-2 again. Curveball just upstairs. That was close. A bunch of guys from the Bobcats dugout letting Bowling hear it from behind the plate. The first walk issued by McLeese, it loads the bases with 2 outs. And now it's left to Morton. Cody tied with the RBI lead for his team with 5. And he takes a first pitch curveball outside. All of a sudden, a steady dose of breaking balls from McLeese to the middle of this Merchants lineup. See if he can spot a fastball inside to the righty. As he slows it down now, here's his 1-0 with the bases juiced. Swung on line into right field. That's going to get in for a hit. 1 run scores. Horcham is being waved home. The ball gets by the right fielder Martis. Now Kahn is being waved home. He's going to score easily. The throw comes into second. 3 runs come across for the Merchants on a base hit by Cody Morton. It's now 4-3 in the bottom of the third. What in the world happened out there in right? My eyes went towards the base runners, then all of a sudden the ball went to the wooden fence. So let's see, they're not throwing an error up there on the scoreboard, and if that were to be the case, it would be a 3-run double for Morton. For now, we can at least assume 2 RBIs, pushing Morton to 7. And the first pitch to Luca Morelli is in for a called strike. Luca is not a fan. Well, until I see or hear otherwise, I got to assume that's a 3-run double. The 0-1 pitch from McLeese. That curveball misses outside. Looked like a similar spot on that previous strike call. And there is action in the Merchants' bullpen. There is a lefty warming up. The 1-1 pitch misses low. And there is somebody doing a few throwing drills in the Bobcats' pen. So at least for now, this is Troy McLeese's inning. He was sailing along, and then he's allowed 3 consecutive hits. The 2-1 cut out and missed by Morelli. Luca struck out looking his only time up in the second. 1 of 4 punch-outs for McLeese. Morton with a good lead at second. He should score in the hit. Bobcats outfield is still playing deep. And there goes Morton from second. Pitch taken upstairs to throw the third is towards foul territory. So stolen base for Morton. Heads up right there. McLeese was not paying any attention to him. That'll be the second stolen base for Morton. And the next pitch is swung on and missed by Morelli. Now 5 strikeouts for McLeese, but the damage is done. 3-run double for Cody Morton, clearing the bases. So we head to the top of the 4th. A new ball game. Bobcats lead cut down to 4-3. We'll be right back. Welcome back for the top of the 4th, ladies and gentlemen. Bobcats' lead has been cut to 4-3 after surrendering 3 in the home 3rd. Luke Kelty, the right-hander, is on to pitch in relief of Zach Diver. He'll face Caleb Hackman, Ryan Thiel, and Trey Thompson. His first pitch of the evening is at the knees for a called strike. I am grateful that the guys in the dugouts are able to give us that information. Because from up here, it looked like Kelty was wearing 18, and there's no 18 on the Merchants roster. Turns out he's wearing 16. Out of the stretch exclusively, off the end of the bat, lofted into right. Casey ventures back, and he makes the catch. So with one down, it'll bring up Ryan Thiel. Thiel singled and advanced on an error in the second, eventually came around to score. 2 runs in each of the first and second innings for the Bobcats, 3 runs for the Merchants in the third. And that's where we sit with 1 out and the bases clear in the top of the 4th. Kelty set to go. Fastball, and that one's popped up. Right side, it'll venture into the seats as it clanks on top of the Merchants dugout. Kelty's gone 3 innings over 2 appearances on the mound. Let's see, is it going to show me his ERA? This pitcher page is a little interesting. 0-1 the count. Okay, there's ERA. If I can line it up, looks like a changeup that misses high. 2-1 the count to the 8th man Thiel. Let's see. Well, he's been roughed up a little bit. 5 hits and 4 earned runs over those 3 innings. And that one is just outside. Now 2-1 the count. So Kelty retired Hackman on the fly ball, trying to work a shutdown inning after his Merchants put up 3. As he shakes off Foster once, now he's set. Close stance this time on the mound, and the pitch is fouled at the plate. Looked like some cut action going away from the right-hander Thiel. The 9th man Thompson waits on deck. No action in either bullpen right now. Wonderful seeing McLeese come back out for the bottom of the 4th. Kelty comes set after a long look in. Flag continues to blow out to left. The 2-2 pitch is a breaking ball inside, and that got a piece of Thiel. That's the third hit batter issued by Merchants pitching. As the 9th man Thompson, he'll settle in with 1 out and a man on first in the 4th. The line for Zach Diver is complete. So 4 runs allowed, all of them earned. On 2 hit batters, a walk, and no strikeouts to go with 4 hits. First pitch to Thompson is swung on, popped up. Left side foul territory. Summers is on the run and it's going to drop foul and bounce into the stands. So 0-1 the count to Thompson, who bounced out to first his only time up. Merchants look to turn 2. 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Bobcats. 3 runs, 3 hits, a couple errors for the Merchants. It's been a reasonably sloppy game. The mid stages of this 7-inning affair. Kelty's set, now he goes home. Good fastball at the knees for a called strike. Thompson behind 0-2. Luke Kelty out of Monmouth College. Spring Valley, Illinois resident. And he is slated, and he is a regular pitcher for Monmouth. And he's set, and he goes to first. I will wager to say that was not his quickest move to first. Thiel went back in standing up. We've seen a few stolen base attempts. Thiel has not attempted a stolen base this summer, as the next pitch is fouled over the screen. Some more fans settling into the corn crib. And I tell you what, the way this breeze is going, everyone else is feeling it. I could use that breeze right about now, ladies and gentlemen. It is muggy and humid in this booth right now. The wind is blowing the wrong way for yours truly. 0-2 the count. Kelty now comes set. Thiel with a very short lead. Maybe a step and a half. And the pitch. That one's on the ground, past the diving Hackney into right field. Thiel will stop at second as Casey delivers a strong throw back to the infield, but it gets away. And it gets past the third baseman, Newhoff, and Thiel's going to be waved home. The ball is in the Bobcats' bullpen. So Thiel comes around to score standing up. Thompson all the way into third. Goodness sake, the defensive issues continue tonight for the Merchants. That's their third error already. And that's going to go against Casey. So a single for Thompson, and then the error allows the run to score and for Trey to get all the way into third with one out. So now 5-3 Bobcats. And the leadoff man Smith will bat. Merchants opt to play the infield all the way back. Bit of an overshift on. The shortstop Morton playing towards the second base bag. Kahn playing to pull at second, a couple steps into the grass cutout. First pitch swinging and a one-hopper to the first baseman Hackney. He flips to Kelty covering and a collision at first. Down goes Smith as he is able to pop back up. Thompson came across to score, so it's now 6-3 Bobcats. Gives Smith an RBI. I'm very surprised that Hackney did not take it to the bag himself. He had time to retire Smith. So 2 outs and the base is clear. Murphy will bat. Well, so far for the Merchants, this is not the looks of a team who comes in first place. I brought up that the Bobcats have had their struggles defensively, but the Merchants have taken that role tonight. First pitch to Murphy misses outside. Mitch hit by a pitch and scored in the first. Bounced out to third in the third. 6-3 Bobcats lead the Merchants, top of the fourth. As Kelty's ready, he goes home. Way out in front is Murphy. I think he was trying to connect with his second home run of the season. And once again, this will be the only game we play tonight with the impending thunderstorms and possible hail. Our second game of our doubleheader has already been canceled. 1-1 pitch off the end about a slow roller to short. Morton charges it, throws on the run, and that's a nice play from Cody Morton. But the damage has been done. 2 more runs come across for the Bobcats, thanks to their third error of the evening. To the bottom of the fourth we go. Bobcats lead the Merchants 6-3. We'll come back a bit early for the bottom of the fourth. Bobcats leading 6-3. Something I always like to do with each team I have on a given summer is get to know the history of this given area. So after getting the heave-ho from Ohio and Missouri, the Mormons arrived to Illinois in 1839. Their leader, Joseph Smith, renamed the settlement to its current name, Nauvoo. It's Hebrew for beautiful place. It lies 2.5 hours west of us on the Mississippi River. Their population swelled up to 20,000, which made Nauvoo one of the largest cities in the state. Naturally, an increasing population led to more political power. Eventually, a group of disaffected Mormons formed a printing press called the Nauvoo Expositor, where they wrote numerous scathing articles about the more controversial LDS practices. In response, Mayor Joseph Smith ordered the printing press to be destroyed. Subsequently, Smith and his brother Hiram were arrested for inciting a riot. Both men were eventually murdered by a mob that broke into the jailhouse in Carthage, Illinois. 2 years later, in 1846, Brigham Young, the longest reigning president, led the Mormons on their exodus to Utah. McLeese back out to work the bottom of the fourth. The next pitch is fouled straight back by Chris Casey. 1-1 the count. That's one of those things where I just saw looking at Google Maps that there are some Latter-day Saints churches out here. Oh, that one was a called strike to Casey. Looked to be down and in to the righty. And I thought, is this part of the Mormon map per se? High bouncer out to third. Behind the bag, it's a fair ball. Summers is up with it. Throw across the diamond is going to be late. Fourth hit of the night for the Merchants. An infield single for Chris Casey to get us started. I'll bring up Grant Hackney. He struck out in the second. There is action in the Bobcats bullpen. There's a right-hander warming up out there. So McLeese is starting the fourth with a 6-3 lead. Good curveball for a called strike to Grant Hackney. So 0-1 the count as McLeese set at the belt. Another breaking ball and a called strike too. We'll see if Casey takes off. I'd be surprised with them trailing by 3. 0-2 the count to Hackney as McLeese goes home. And that fastball's outside. Troy loses his hat for the second time tonight. Well, the flag is picking up just a little bit again, blowing out to left. Hasn't been much action with the flag as of late. Bobcats look to turn 2. Submarine delivery, and that one's popped up. Short center field. Hackman comes sprinting in. The shortstop, Smith, though, retreats to the outfield and makes the catch. One away in the fourth. It brings up Brooks Newhoff. Newhoff struck out looking in the third. One of 5 strikeouts now for McLeese. And he surrendered just 4 hits. And just to clarify something else, as the first pitch is taken for a called strike, the hit from Cody Morton with the bases loaded in the third that cleared the bases. So it will go down as an error on the right fielder, Nick Mardis. So 2-run single for Cody Morton that time. The throw over the first, Casey back in safely. So the 3 runs allowed by Troy McLeese, only 2 of them should be earned. The 0-1 pitch is fouled straight back. So Newhoff behind 0-2. Troy trying to work his way through the fourth. But the man on first, that's Casey, who had an infield single to start the home fourth. Now he's set, checks the runner once, he goes home. And that one's lined into right field. Mardis coming on, he slides, and he traps it. The first baseman, Casey's trying to get to second. The throw on one hop is off the glove of the shortstop, Jackson Smith. So a chance for Mardis to try and record an out. Not to be this time. It's the 5th hit of the night for the Merchants. And you can't really blame Chris Casey there. As time is called, we're going to have a meeting on the mound. There's the manager, Jake Weggs. We'll see if that's going to be it for McLeese. The reliever is just standing and waiting over there. The entire infield has come in. He hasn't taken the baseball from McLeese yet. No signal to the bullpen either. You do have the bottom of the order. It's the 8th man, Dawson Foster. Let's see. Here comes the home plate umpire to break up the conversation, and Weggs is going to stick with his starter, McLeese, for now. Wonder what kind of leash he's going to have. He's allowed a couple singles here in the fourth. And there's a strong throw from Nick Mardis trying to retire Chris Casey at second, just short hopped it. Foster popped out to second, his only at bat, as the Bobcats reliever continues to stand and wait. And the first pitch to Dawson is on the outside corner. Foster not a fan of it. We've seen a handful of times some ire raised from both dugouts. Outfield playing fairly shallow except for Thompson in left. The next one is lined into center. Hackman on the run into the left center field alleyway. He puts it away. So allowed second out for the Merchants, and it brings up the ninth man, Walker. Well, an important at-bat for Mason. He singled and scored in the third. We had a similar situation with a Cody Morton base hit in that third inning, which led to 3 runs being scored. As the Merchants trail 6-3, McLeese checks Casey at second and goes home. Slow bouncer towards first. Carr up to get it. He flips to McLeese, covering, and out is the call at first. Bang, bang play. The field umpire, Aldale Cummings, was on top of it. No argument from the Merchants dugout. So Troy McLeese able to work out of a jam with 2 men on. Good decision from Jake Weggs to try and let him finish the inning. We'll head to the top of the 5th. Bobcats holding on to a 6-3 lead. Welcome back to the Colonels Collegiate League YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. We're set for the top of the 5th. Bobcats, who are sitting on a 6-3 lead, see if they can extend that. It's the 3-4-5 hitters, Carr, Stark, and Summers. Luke Kelty back out to work his second inning out of the bullpen. There's no bullpen action behind Kelty. Carr singled his last time up, so he's 1 for 2. Swings the first pitch, and he hits it foul. Out in front and off balance on a breaking ball. Kelty allowed a couple runs to come across in the 4th. A long look, and now he comes set as some blue skies start to appear. Fouled straight back, 0-2 the count. And once again, the second game of our doubleheader has already been canceled. That was done a good 2 hours before first pitch tonight, with thunderstorms and hail likely coming in. So I'm surprised to see blue skies right now, even hearing some birds chirping. Albeit, 85 degrees right now, and it feels like 90. That's not me, that's my phone talking. Outside 1 and 2. A very light breeze continues to flow from right to left. You know, I love it out here, but this is one of those handful of times where I go, I'm jealous of all my buddies who live on the Jersey Shore. The 1-2 is a breaking ball that misses way outside. But the school's letting out in they call it the Delaware Valley, South Jersey, Delaware, and Eastern Pennsylvania. So besides Memorial Day weekend, this will be the first humongous beach weekend down the shore. I'll get enough of that come August and September. The 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Carr goes after a high fastball. First strikeout for Kelty out of the pen. Hayden Stark will be the hitter. Bounced out to third in the first, flew out to left in the third. 6 runs on 5 hits for the Bobcats. They have an error up there, but I don't think that's quite right. 3 runs, 5 hits, 3 errors for the Merchants. That one is absolutely right. Hot and muggy tonight. First pitch misses high. And I'm no stranger to hot temperatures. A couple summers ago, I was calling games in Palm Springs, California. They have a summer and winter league, which I've gratefully taken part in, but those summers are tough. They get up to 120, right in the heart of that season. It's a dry heat, though, so you don't sweat very much. The 1-0 is off the end of the bat, foul towards the Merchants' dugout. That's one of those where, well, fortunately at that ballpark in Palm Springs, it's the old home of the Anaheim Angels for spring training. Nolan Ryan pitched there. They have the biggest mister system in the entire valley. That for their fans. And it does cool off reasonably at night, so you get used to it. 1-1 check swing foul up the first base line. Now 1-2 with 1 out and the base is clear. Bobcats lead the Merchants 6-3. And last summer, I was in the Olympic Peninsula in northwest Washington State, calling games in the West Coast League about 80 miles west of Seattle. Their nights are cold and windy, and their winters and springs are brutally cold and rainy. The 1-2 pitch misses high. Then you get to their summer months, though, and during the day, it's very comfortable. And the way their press box is set up, it does get cold and windy every night, even in July. Let me tell you that. It's by far one of the coldest summers you could look for in the entire country. But it's beautiful. The 2-2 pitch misses outside. Level of play is pretty similar between the West Coast League and the Prospect League, at least from what I've seen. I'd say the hitting has, if anything, been slightly better in the West Coast League. The numbers this year offensively in the Prospect League have not matched up to previous years. The 3-2 pitch is swung on off the end of the bat. A slow roller to shortstop. Morton up with it, double pumps it, and just in time to get Stork at first. 2 up, 2 down in the 5th for Kelty, and it brings up Bennett Summers. Bennett 0 for 1, hit by a pitch his last time up in the 3rd. Now, granted, something unique from being out here is you're right in the middle of a lot of stuff. Just 2 hours south of Chicago, you have a very convenient Amtrak, about a little closer to 2.5 hours going south the other way to St. Louis. Milwaukee's only about 3 hours away, and then, Cincinnati, Minneapolis aren't terribly far, as that one's popped up down the left field line. Long run for Mason Walker, and he makes the catch in fair territory. Good inning for Luke Kelty. He sets down the Bobcats in order. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Bobcats leading 6-3. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost set for the bottom of the fifth. Merchants have some work to do as they trail 6-3. Clay Gadboy will take over in relief for the starter Troy McLeese. Gadboy, his third game on the mound. He's gone 5 innings. Let's see, where's that ERA? That has been elusive for me. This page is interesting. So over the course of those 5 innings, 3 hits and 1 earned run allowed by Clay, 2 walks and 7 punch-outs. And he deals a first pitch strike to the leadoff man, Ashton Horcham. Horcham 1 for 2, a single and a run scored his last time. Gadboy out of the windup, set at the letters. His 0-1 pitch, check swing, low and no swing. So the line is done for Troy McLeese. He went the first 4 innings, allowed 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, a single walk and 5 strikeouts. And he's in line for the win, as the next pitch by Clay misses low. You can't rule the Merchants out, though. They came back last night, trailing 5-0 to eventually win. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Gadboy. Swung on and fouled out of play to the left. Clay, an incoming freshman to Kankakee Community College. According to Prep Baseball, his fastball sits about 85 to go with a curve and a changeup. That's a convenient little resource to have. The 2-2 pitch is outside. Last thing you want to do if you're Clay is put Horcham on. He can absolutely fly. Got to make him earn it. Flag is quiet again in right center. The 3-2 pitch to start the 5th is just inside. So a leadoff walk to start Gadboy's outing. Horcham has stolen 7 bases. We'll see if he takes off with his Merchants trailing by 3. Clay Kahn will bat. He walked and scored his last time up in the 3rd. Nice little cheering section. At least noticeable to me for Kahn as he was introduced over the public address system. There is somebody loosening in the pen for the Merchants. That's a good fastball, a called strike. Kahn behind 0-1. Bobcats leading 6-3, trying to improve to 2-6 in the second week of play. Merchants come in 5-2 as the next offering by Gadboy misses low. Clay doing a little manicuring on that makeshift turf mound. Guess he wasn't happy with his landing spot. Cannot wear metal spikes on any of the turf fields in the Prospect League. A throw over, Horcham goes back diving. That might have caught him flinching, though. Ashton might be thinking about taking off. 1-1 the count, no outs, and a man at first. There goes the runner, and the pitch is fouled out of play to the left. Horcham had that bag stolen. He absolutely did. I'll see if he's willing to try it again at some point this at bat. Likely he'll go again before the inning concludes. Hayden Stork 0 for 5 in throwing out base stealers. And 1-2 the count now. Here's the pitch by Gadboy, another foul ball. So the count remains 1-2, 6-3 Bobcats, as we enter the late stages of this 7-inning affair on what might arguably be the most humid night of the summer to date. 1-2 on the inside corner for a called strike 3. So first strikeout of the night for Gadboy. That's an important out. It brings up Cody Morton. Morton laced a 2-run single to right field his last time up. Part of that 3-run 3rd inning for the Merchants. Outside of that, Merchants haven't done a whole lot offensively. Another throw over. Horcham with a big lead goes back diving. And granted, if you're Gadboy, of course you want to try and hold the speedy Horcham, but can't let yourself be distracted too much as you lead by 3. There goes Horcham. The pitch is lined through the hole on the left side for a hit. Good base running by Ashton. He picks it up. He's into third. He's going to be waved home. The throw comes into second. No throw to the plate. So an RBI double for Cody Morton. He's 2 for 3 tonight. He's up to 3 RBIs. How about that base running from Horcham? He just kept on going as that ball scooted across the turf into the alleyway. It's now 6-4 Bobcats. And the Merchants have the tying run at the plate with 1 out in the 5th. No chance did I think Horcham was going to score from first. And granted, the left fielder Thompson is playing a little towards the left field line. Morelli has struck out twice tonight, so he's looking to get it going as the first pitch misses outside by Clay. This is some funky positioning in the outfield. Everyone is shallow except for the left fielder Thompson. The right fielder Mardis, after playing deep most of the night, now he's pretty shallow. Swing and a miss by Morelli. As somebody's now throwing in the Bobcats' pen. The catcher doesn't have any gear on, though. So they're more just playing catch. So Clay is first inning in relief for McLeese. Breaking ball, check swing. Morelli went around, but the ball gets away from Stork to the backstop. Up to third goes Morton. So that'll be a wild pitch. Now 1-2 the count. But now a ground ball makes it a 1-run game for the Merchants. Bobcats leading 6-4. And they'll opt to play the infield all the way back, conceding a run. Morton with pretty reasonable speed at third, getting his walking lead. Clay still working out the stretch on the far first base side, and he goes home, swung on and fouled into the screen. So the count remains 1-2. Couple good at-bats from Merchants hitters this inning, spoiling some tough pitches. And that next one misses down and away. Absolutely no movement, no sign of any breeze. This is jarring. This could be the only time this summer where I end up saying that. It's possible. The 2-2 pitch. That's in the air to right. It's pretty well hit. Mardis goes back. He has it lined up. He makes the catch. Morton will tag. The throw comes into the infield. Morton scores standing up. So Luca Morelli, a sacrifice fly. He's made it a 6-5 game in favor of the Bobcats. Slowly but surely, here come the first place Merchants. So 2 outs and the base is clear. It's Chris Casey. Casey 1 for 2, a single his last time up in the 4th. 2 runs in the first, 2 runs in the second, 2 more in the 4th for the Bobcats, 3 in the 3rd, and 2 right here in the 5th for the Merchants. Gadboy back out of the windup, and Casey takes a called strike. I've seen in the group chat throughout the first week and a half, plenty of come from behind games. And a check swing, Casey goes around, and the curveball that bounced about 54 feet to the plate. That's what you call getting fooled. So Gadboy ahead 0-2, trying to limit the damage now. He's already allowed 2. So he shakes off a couple signs. Now he's set. He kicks and deals. Tries the same curveball. This time Casey lays off. Now 1-2 the count. The action, whoever was throwing in the Bobcats bullpen has stopped. Nobody up for the Merchants. Reasonable to expect Luke Kelty to go back out for the 6th. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That fastball misses high. Well, some good practice situations, some high-level spots for these pitchers in a one-run game. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Second strikeout of the inning for Gadboy, but the Merchants able to pick up 2 more runs to make it a one-run game. Cody Morton with the big blow, the double into left center with the runner Horcham taking off. To the top of the 6th we go. Bobcats still clinging to a one-run lead. Welcome back, everybody. Top of the 6th inning, Bobcats clinging to a 6-5 lead as they'll bat. Jake Stewart, the left-hander, is the new pitcher. I thought Mason Walker was the only pitcher, at least looking at the roster for a second. Stewart goes out of the windup, and Nick Martis takes a first pitch strike. Jake Stewart out of Lakeland Community College. Well, he's doing a little pitching now. He's listed as an outfielder. Next pitch is taken high. Let's see if Stewart has not pitched at all this summer. Well, he's not a big guy by any means. Sleight of frame from the left side. Out of the windup, his 1-1. Foul tipped into the glove of Foster. He has a good pace out there. Good composure. He's set up towards the third base side of the rubber. Martis, a single, and he reached on the fielder's choice, also scored a run. The 1-2 pitch. Off balance, off the end of the bat, foul. Stewart shakes off a couple pitches. We just saw the breaking ball a second ago. And now he kicks and deals. Tries another curve just outside. Close. Well, I don't want to jinx us by any means, but it looks very promising that we'll be able to finish this first game without any big issues. Assuming it finishes in regulation. The 2-2 pitch. Up and away with a fastball. Once again, you guys, worth mentioning, this will be our only game tonight. With the impending thunderstorms, the second game has been canceled. The 3-2 delivery to open the 6th. Foul tipped again into Foster's glove. So Stewart picks up a strikeout. The first hitter he faces in the 6th. Now it's Caleb Hackman. 2-run single for him in the 2nd. And he flew out to right in the 4th. Left on right the matchup. Outfielders playing straight up. It's down to the bullpen in the late stages. The curveball, that's laced down the left field line. It's a fair ball. It's going to roll towards the corner. Mason Walker goes to dig it out. Heckman tripped and fell going around first, but he'll pull into second standing up. So a one-out double for Heckman. That ball was scalded off his bat. That's Hackman's first extra base hit of the summer. He got a hanging breaking ball, and he hit that one a ton. The sign says 325 down the lines, but the way it's played over our first couple weeks out here, it looks a bit deeper. Now it's the eighth man, Ryan Thiel. 1-for-1, single, a hit by pitch, a couple runs scored. And he takes a first pitch strike. Bobcats, who led 4-0 at one point, as well as 6-3, looking to pick up an insurance run after surrendering 2 in the fifth. Short lead at second for Heckman as Stewart steps off. Next pitch is swung on and fouled as the count moves to 0-2. No action in either bullpen. Good chance Stewart will try and finish things off. However it goes. Clay Gadboy expected to come back out for the bottom of the sixth. The fans are blowing in the dugouts and throughout the ballpark on this hot, humid night. Got up to 90 today. The 0-2 off the end of the bat, a ground ball slowly to second. Kahn gobbles it up. Plenty of time to throw out Thiel, who wasn't really running. So 2 away, Heckman up to third. And it'll be Thompson. He singled and scored his last time up in the fourth. He's 1 for 2. You'd love a base hit right here if you're the Bobcats. And if you're Heckman, you got to get a good walking lead off of third. So Jake Stewart opting to go out of the windup so you can really get a good-sized walking lead. Left on left the matchup, and the first pitch is a curveball a little inside. You also have to keep in mind that Dawson Foster behind the plate has had a tough time handling certain pitches throughout the night. So you could easily get one to pop away for the Bobcats. The 1-0. That curveball misses outside. So back-to-back breaking pitch to the ninth hitter from the reliever Stewart. Bit unorthodox. Wonder if he'd rather face Jackson Smith. Here's the 2-0 pitch as things have slowed down again in the sixth. That's a good curveball on the inside corner for a strike. Now the 2-1. That's in the dirt. It gets through Dawson Foster to the backstop. Heckman will trot on home. There's that insurance run for the Bobcats. It's now 7-5. So 4 straight curveballs for Jake Stewart. And Foster's had no chance to try to handle that one. It bounced in front of the plate. It must have hit some kind of divot as Foster goes to try and massage that part of the turf. It took a crazy high bounce over Foster's left shoulder. Regardless, the wild pitch gives the Bobcats that 7th run. They lead 7-5. Still a chance for more. The count's 3-1 to Thompson with the bases clear. And here's the pitch from Stewart. Swing and a miss at an elevated fastball. That was a big rip. Stewart, who's allowed 1, trying to work out of this inning. His 3-2 misses low. So a 2-out walk gives the Bobcats another base runner. And it is the leadoff man, Smith. Jackson walked and scored in the first, also lined out to left, so he's 0 for 2. Short lead at first from Thompson as Stewart goes home and the fastball is a little high. Borderline pitch. It looked for just a second like Jake Stewart would get out of it. At least for now, not the case. The 1-0 delivery is on the inside corner. Oh, throw from Foster almost went over Stewart's head. Stewart, the second man out of the bullpen tonight for the Merchants. Zach Diver went the first 3. Luke Kelty went the next 2. Here's the 1-1. Down and in, just barely. Oh, a long hold that time from Stewart, and now he comes set. His 2-1 to the lefty is fouled straight back. Oh, there's some action once again in the Bobcats pen. There's a righty out there. And this time he's throwing off the mound. See if he'll come in for Gadboy. 2-2 the count, 2 outs in the top of the 6th. A run already across. Bobcats lead 7-5. Here's the pitch. That one's hit hard towards the middle, past the diving Con into center. Thompson around second. He's going to pull into third. And a 2-out single now for Smith. That's the 7th hit of the night for the Bobcats, so the inning continues. And a chance for more for the Bobcats. Good base running from Thompson, too. That's one of those where you see the ball in front of you, you see it leaking into center and how the center fielder has to go after it. And you take that turn, no hesitation around second. I love seeing that kind of base running. Mitch Murphy now the batter. 0 for 2, hit by a pitch and scored. See if Smith takes off. He has a good lead. He does not go. First pitch is hit hard on the ground, past the diving Con on the right side. A run scores. Smith on his way to third. The throw in is not going to be in time by Casey. The home plate umpire was right on it to make the call. RBI single for Mitch Murphy, and it's now 8-5 Bobcats. And how about the base running from Trey Thompson to set up scoring that run? Hard to say if he would have scored anyway if he had stayed at second. Good base running and a good piece of hitting by Murphy, going with the pitch to right. And Murphy went to second on the throw, so more good base running. Colin Carr, the batter. And Stewart's out of the windup, and a curveball is in for a called strike. Well, the Merchants, with only 6 outs to play with, a base hit right here could put this out of reach for the Bobcats. The 0-1 to Carr. Off the end of the bat, topped foul at the plate. That ball is spinning all sorts of ways. 0-2 the count now. Collins singled in the third, also reached on the fielder's choice. He's 1 for 3. Smith at third, Murphy at second. Outfield playing on the shallow side for the Merchants. The 0-2 with 2 outs, way outside. Long looking by Stewart. And now he's set. That one's fouled straight back off the top of the netting. The count remains 1-2. Carr trying to put this one out of reach. His Bobcats leading by 3. Curveball just outside. Now here's the 2-2 to Carr. Curveball hit way up in the air to left. It's going to get out of play towards the bullpen. Pretty well struck ball by Carr. Here's the 2-2 again as the runners inch off. On the outside corner for a called strike 3. That retires the side, but the Bobcats pick up 2 insurance runs. First, Heckman comes across on the wild pitch. Then Thompson comes around on the Mitch Murphy base hit. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Bobcats leading once again by 3. Welcome back to the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. Bottom of the 6th inning, 8-5, the Bobcats lead. Clay Gadboy will get back to work. So we have some changes. Daniel Bastidas has grabbed a bat. He's pinch hitting for Grant Hackney in the 6th spot. Gadboy out of the windup. His first pitch of the inning is swung on and missed. Let's see. We have some changes in the field. So Alec McGinnis is playing second now in place of Mitch Murphy. And the next pitch is swung on and missed. 0-2 the count to Bastidas, who comes into play 4 for 14. Or 4 for 10, excuse me. He's drawn 4 walks. Bastidas getting most of the night off then. His Gadboy set, out of the windup he goes, and the 0-2 slider misses outside. And Dan Moselle is playing third in place of Bennett Summers. The 1-2 pitch as the birds chirp once more. That fastball's right down the middle for a called strike 3. Bastidas knew it. That's the 3rd strikeout now for Gadboy in his 2nd inning of work. Brooks Newhoff will bat for himself. He's 1 for 2. Now the Merchants down to their final 5 outs. Bobcats a chance to pick up their 2nd win of the summer. Gadboy approaches the mound confidently, and he deals a first pitch breaking ball. Newhoff swings and misses. High bouncer foul up the third base line. The catcher Foster waits on deck. There he is. He will hit for himself. And it's been a tale of 2 teams, essentially. The Bobcats throughout the night have looked like the far superior team, despite the records. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Challenged Newhoff with a fastball. He swings through it. Back-to-back strikeouts. Actually 3 in a row going back to the 5th. 4 overall and 2 up, 2 down in the 6th for Clay Gadboy. And it's left to Dawson Foster. His Merchants trailing 8-5. 8 runs, 8 hits for for the Bobcats. 5 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors for the Merchants. Foster's 0 for 2. He lined out sharply to center his last time up. He swings the first pitch, bounce towards the middle. Up with it is McGinnis. The ball does find you. And over the first to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down, go the Merchants. A good inning right there from Gadboy. And we head to the top of the last. It's the Bobcats 8 and the Merchants 5. We're back for the top of the 7th at the Corn Crib, ladies and gentlemen. Bobcats with their potential last set of swings as they lead 8-5. They picked up 2 important insurance runs in the 6th. Jake Stork back out for a second inning out of the pen. He'll face the 4, 5, 6 hitters, Stork and Dan Moselle in the place of Bennett Summers and Nick Martis. First pitch, the fastball at the knees for a called strike. Stork is 0 for 3, grounded out to short his last time up in the 5th. Bobcats will be just 3 outs away from picking up their second win of the summer. Stork with a big grin on the mound, and he goes home. Off the end of the bat, lined into left for a hit. Stork aboard to start the 7th. He's 1 for 4. And Stewart listed as an outfielder, just trying to, for now, pick up these final 3 outs and manage the pitching situation for the Merchants. If you look at tomorrow's schedule, the Groundslaws and Merchants will get us started on the Colonel's Collegiate League YouTube at 5, Blue Caps and Bobcats to follow. Dan Moselle will bat for the first time tonight, going with no batting gloves. Left on right the matchup. He swings the first pitch and pops it up. Short right, the second baseman Kahn is there, a couple steps into the grass cutout. He makes the two-handed catch. Now it's Nick Martis' turn. Single on the run scored in the 2nd, also struck out in the 6th. Merchants set to turn 2. Well, actually, Kahn and Morton, the middle infielders, are playing pretty far off the second base bag. Left on right the matchup, and Stewart deals in the dirt. Startled the home plate umpire there as he went retreating away from his box. Bobcats, who have came in last in most offensive categories, up to 9 hits tonight. Taking advantage of some poor Merchants defense, too. Short lead at first from Stork. And the next one is fouled right over my head. Baseball's not likely to ever enter my press box, just at the angle. We only have one window about halfway open, and the way the netting's set up in front of us. 1-1 the count, 8-5 the Bobcats lead, top of the 7th. And the pitch by Stewart. Curveball down and in. Oh, the clouds have settled back in. Some slightly thinner clouds, if that makes any sense. And for now, the rain and thunder holding off. Or I should say lightning. 2-1 is swung on and popped up. Right side of the infield, another chance for Kahn. He comes in towards the infield grass cutout and makes the catch. Back-to-back pop-ups induced by Jake Stewart, and it's left to Caleb Hackman. 2 for 3 with a couple doubles, a run scored and an RBI. The big right-hander has had himself a night. Stork on paper not a threat to run, but see if he thinks about taking off, trying to get himself in the scoring position. He has a bigger lead this time. He doesn't go, and Hackman swings the first pitch, pops it up, foul territory, and the first baseman, Hackney, makes the catch. So the Bobcats go down quietly. We'll head to the bottom of the last. Last chance for the Merchants, trailing 8-5. Welcome back, everyone. Last chance for the Merchants. Clay Gadboy goes back out, so he's trying to pick up that old-school 3-inning save. As the Bobcats lead 8-5, the 9th man Walker, and then the top coming up for the Merchants. The Bobcats have led from the get-go with 2 runs in each of the first and second innings. They've run the bases well. They've added on when needed and taken advantage of Merchants' mistakes. Gadboy out of the windup and Walker takes outside. Mason singled in the third and scored, also grounded out to first. Wonder if Walker will take a strike. The 1-0 delivery. Nope, he doesn't. He's grounded out to short. Up with it is Smith. Low throw, and it gets past Carr at first. It clanks off the dugout fencing, and Walker is going to get into second standing up. Wow, that play looked as routine as it could get, but Jackson Smith just spiked the throw. So the first error of the night for the Bobcats, and a night where their defense has been solid. The issues come back, at least for now. The leadoff man, Horcham, will be the batter. He's 1 for 2 with a single, a walk, and 2 runs scored. Right on left the matchup. And the left-hander takes a strike on the inner half. The shortstop Smith is holding Walker at second. You don't really need to. Out is what you're really looking for. Left fielder Thompson playing shallow and towards the line. Everyone else straight up in the outfield. And the next pitch is popped up foul out of play. So in Smith's debut, his first error in a Bobcats uniform. Bobcats up to 24 errors now, this being their 8th game of the summer. Gadboy shakes off the pitch, now he comes set. Close stance on the far first base side. His 0-2. That ball's rocketed out to center. Caleb Hackman barely has to move. He makes the catch. Walker's going to tag to third. The throw comes in on one hop, and safe is the call at third. Boy, Walker took a chance in making an out on the bases. Base running has been an issue throughout the night at times. But one away, and Clay Kahn will be the hitter. Good throw from Hackman, though. He got behind it nicely. He delivered a strong one-hopper, too. That was good to see. That was a stronger throw than a lot of Prospect League outfielders. First pitch to Kahn is on the outside corner. Clay is 0 for 2. A walk and a run scored in the third, struck out his last time up. The infield, of course, playing back for the Bobcats, leading 8-5 with Walker at third. The 0-1 out of the stretch is foul tipped at the plate. Good curve from Gadboy, ahead 0-2. Clay stares in for his sign, a couple shakeoffs. A lot of shakeoffs tonight from both sides. He set at the letter, slide step, and the pitch is fouled to the screen. Little trickery that time. We saw all sorts of different speeds to the plate and release points from the starter Troy McLeese. Can't afford to lose thought of him in this good effort from the Bobcats. The 0-2 pitch, up and outside. Cody Morton waits on deck. Well, he's made some noise tonight at the plate, so you don't want to put Kahn on. 1-2 the count. Gadboy kicks and deals. On the ground out to second. McGinnis up with it. Soft toss to first. 2 away in the 7th. Walker does come across to score. It's now 8-6, but he'll gladly take the out. So give Kahn an RBI. And it's left to Cody Morton. Big for the Bobcats that you have him up, not representing the tying run. Morton lined out sharply to center in the first. A 2-run single in the third and an RBI double in the 5th. First pitch taken low. Definitely cannot afford to be too careful to Morton. Rather him make it a 1-run game than walk him. Fastball misses high, now 2-0. Morelli waits on deck, who struck out twice. You still got to be aggressive to Morton, though. The 2-0 now. That's on the outside corner for a strike. Merchants down to their final out, trailing the Bobcats 8-6. Outfield, well, the left and center fielders are playing no doubles for the Bobcats. Martison right playing shallow. 2-1, fouled to the screen. Now the Merchants down to their final strike. 2-2 the count, 2 outs, bases clear. Morton needs to get on to bring the tying run to the plate. Gadboy climbs the mound one more time. He's set, he has his sign. He kicks and deals. The 2-2 pitch. On the ground to short, another chance for Smith. He's up with it, double pumps, his throw to first is high and it pulls Carr off the bag. The second error of the inning for Jackson Smith. And the game remains alive for the Merchants. What in the world? And now it's Luca Morelli. The energy of the ballpark has changed. Morelli representing the tying run now. The Bobcats, they've had this game won. 2 errors by Jackson Smith here in the bottom of the 7th has opened the door for the Merchants. Morelli had a sacrifice fly his last time up. First pitch is in the dirt. It gets past Stork to the backstop. Morton up to second on the wild pitch. His run doesn't really matter, though. Boy, and how big are those 2 insurance runs for the Bobcats in the 6th? How big are the wild pitches, the pass balls, and the errors committed by the Merchants? The 1-0 to Morelli on the outside corner. Gadboy 1 out away, trying to pick up that 3-inning save. Short lead at second for Morton. Nobody holding him on. The left fielder Thompson is very deep. 1-1 in the dirt again, and it gets away from Stork. Up to third goes Morton. So 2 wild pitches in this at bat. There's nobody up in the Bobcats' pen, and you have to wonder on this hot, muggy, humid night, is Gadboy starting to tire at the finish line? 2-1 the count to Luca. Chris Casey waits on deck. Morton with a short lead at third. He's not going to take any chances. Gadboy out of the stretch. The 2-1 is at the belt for a called strike. Morelli not a fan of it. Not sure if he thought it was high or if he just wants that pitch back. So once again, the Merchants down to their final strike. 2-2 the count. 2 outs. Morton at third. Bobcats leading 8-6. Gadboy is set out of the stretch. Checks the runner. Here's the pitch. On the outside corner for a called strike 3. Morelli knew it. I don't know what in the world he was looking at. Clay Gadboy picks up the 3-inning save for the Bobcats. And he picks up their second win of this summer. The Bobcats move to 2-6 on the season. Merchants, after an ugly game, they committed 3 errors, allowed a lot of hard hit balls to the Bobcats. A lot of wild pitches, too. That first place Merchants team, they take the loss tonight. They fall to 5-3. That's it for us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The second game of our doubleheader was canceled hours before our game started with impending weather. Grateful we were able to get this one in. I'm Evan Schmeiser on behalf of the Colonels Collegiate League and the Normal Corn Belters. I'm signing off for now. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll be back tomorrow starting at 5 o'clock with another doubleheader here in the KCL. Ground Sloths and Merchants will get us started, followed by the Blue Caps and Bobcats. So long for now. Good night.